Okay, I'm back with the motions. All right, let's try this again. So this is a motion for the courts. Pretty intimidating with first glance at it, but once you know what to do, it's gonna get really, really easy. Trust me, okay? So here is going to be your legal name, legal address, city, phone. This has to all be legal because this is how the court is going to contact you. We're going to go over to the already done one. So your full legal name, your legal mailing address, your legal city, state, zip, phone number. The court can contact you. I got my U a little sloppy there. Okay, this is a Montana one. You need to put the number of the jurisdiction that you're in. So, and the name of the county in which the court proceeding is taking place. So we go over here, Montana, the number. So it would be a difference. It'd be like 1 through 40, and that usually goes by how big the town is in each state is number 1, 2, 3, 4. You go over here, and then the name of the county that you're sitting in. It's pretty simple. You go right here, you got the plaintiff versus the defendant. The plaintiff is always going to be the state that your case is in, and then against your legal name right there. And then you got a cause and a motion. Now that is pretty much cause number for your case and a motion, name of the law you are trying to get passed. Simple. Trust me, I got you. Now you're going to put your legal name and motion that you want done right there, and a brief description of why you think it would be a good idea for this motion to pass for the courts. Okay, we're gonna go here. You got your legal name, petition. Check your correct box of which you are. Are you the defendant? Are you the petitioner? And then request that the court enter an order that does the following. Name and number of the law you are trying to get the courts to pass. Okay, we'll go down. That is, I am requesting this order because I'm requesting this order for, let's see, description of why you believe it would be a good idea with good reason to have this particular law applied to this case. Also, every state law has history of codes with each state law. These history codes need to be added to each motion in order for the motion to even be considered. Now, back to page 1 at the bottom. So you're going to have page 1. Motions are always 2 pages. This is optional at the bottom. You don't even have to do this. It's the name and number of the law you are using on this motion. That you can leave blank. That's just, it's optional on that one. Okay, let's go to page 2. Okay. Page 2 of the motion is going to ask you certain things like, I am filing the following document along with this motion: affidavits, motions, orders for the courts. Right there it says, and self-address stamped envelopes for all parties. You do not need to send other lawyers envelopes and stamps and judges. They can pretty much handle that on their own. If they can't, they probably shouldn't be in law anyway. No, so we go back over here. This is the same thing of what you're filing with the court. I am filing the following documents along with this motion. I am not filing an affidavit, and I'm not filing a motion for the court's signatures with a bunch of envelopes and stuff. So I went to the other, a motion and order for the court's signature. Simple. This part is going to be the date that you filled this paperwork out with your signature. I say again, the date you filled this paperwork out with your signature, right there. Second, certificate of service. Now this is a little different. On these two dates, they're going to be different from the date that you filled out the paperwork. These two dates, you have to put in the exact date that you turned them into the courts. So if you filled out the paperwork on a Friday, let's say it was the 2nd, and then you turned it in on Monday, which is the 5th, this date down here and this date right here would be the 5th, and then this date up here would be the 3rd. So these two dates down here are the dates that you turn the paperwork into the courts. This is the date that you actually filled out this paperwork. Then you have your signature. Let's go over to the right here. Again, this part is optional. Name of the law that you're using. You need your legal name at the bottom. Again, right here. Date you turn this motion into the courts for both of those dates right there. Then you have your legal name, your legal mailing address, city, state, zip. And then however you're doing this, if you're going to hand it into the court, put the date that you handed it in. If you're going to mail it in, depending on how, even if you're in the same city actually, put it for 2 to 3 days out. So if you're mailing it out on the 3rd, put the date on here as like the 5th or maybe even the 6th. And that is pretty much the motion. Again, if you file a motion with the court without an order, it's going to be void. They're not going to do anything about it. So here's the order. Again, we have to go back up here to the number of the jurisdiction that you're in, the name of the county, case numbers, plaintiffs. This is pretty much an order form. That is basically the sister form to the motion, and you need to file them both in order for the courts to do anything about it. Now, we're going to go over here. Okay, so you have the number of the jurisdiction of the court you're in. And then over here is the name of the county that you're in. Again, state the case is in is the plaintiffs, and your legal name is the defendant. Your case number, your cause number, you'll get used to that if you ever actually start doing any of this. Okay, having considered the defendants, which is you, because you're filing the motion and the order, right under there you're going to have to name of motion you're filing with this order. Right below it, it says print the exact name of the motion that you filed. And directly under that one, you get describe what you want the courts to do. I made a little scribble mark there. Court passes the motion with good cause. Again, you have to have good cause in order for the motion to pass. Otherwise, everybody's going to be doing this. You have to go through the laws one by one, and trust me, it takes time. But you don't need a law degree to accomplish any of this. At the bottom of the order here is the judge's signature. You leave both of these blank. The judge is going to date that and sign it if he chooses to go through with your motion. Again, the motions with the courts are not difficult, but you do have to like Google all the laws. Like let's say you're going through like a DUI case in Montana. You can Google DUI laws in Montana, and Google will bring up all the DUI laws you can. But you also have to do separate laws how to get out of that one. So if you have a criminal law, you have to have a law of like, how can I get my fines dismissed? Or how can I get my time cut down? Stuff like that. And there's certain different laws for that you have to look up. Again, I'm going to do a different video, and we are going to talk about how to purchase those books from the law. From the state that you're living in. For the first, couple videos that I do, I'm going to be doing layman's terms / law school. I'm going to be teaching you how to do law school and how to do legal things in layman's terms and how to actually get it done. Now, when you file a motion in an order with the court, you have to make 2 copies, 3 copies actually. You have to submit the one that you wrote on to the court, and you have to give a copy to the prosecuting attorney. If you do not do this, your motion and order is in void. If you don't submit it to the prosecuting attorney, it's just thrown out. You wasted your time. The third one is your copy. Just keep it on you at all times. The prosecuting attorney is not going to agree with you in anything you say. Here's where it comes into play, where if you actually have the balls to go through with it, you'll be fine. You are going to need to sit down in a private room with that prosecuting attorney. If it's a female prosecuting attorney, she usually brings like a male private investigator or a cop just for her own protection, yada, yada, yada. But she's going to try to head you off at every pass. Here's another thing I've learned about prosecuting attorneys. They are going to try to question you to see what you're going to do so they can head you off. So if she's like, okay, well then tell me how you're going to accomplish that. Don't do it. Don't do it. She's fishing for information so how she can beat you in the case. Do not give her a shred of information whatsoever. Again, when you decide to take over your own case, the judge is going to read your rights to you and tell you that, you do still face all the same consequences, yada, yada, yada. And if you think you're smart enough to actually go through with this. If you actually think that you can do it, then do it. Simply just tell the judge, yeah, I have adequate enough advisors that can get me through this, and I appreciate the concern, but thank you. Again, this is Guidance Inc. I am doing my best to get guidance off the ground. If you feel this information would help you or a friend of yours in the future, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, hit that like button, and please support Guidance as we launch into the future. All right, thank you.